Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another Legends of Runeterra video for you guys today. And today we are gonna kill our opponents with kindness. We got the nicest duo in all of Runeterra, Soraka and Braum, join forces in a very cool allegiance, as we have a Star Spring deck that is actually not Soraka Tahm Kench. Shocker, I know, but I really wanted to play Soraka outside of the Tahm Kench shell. And I think her with Braum, this region combination has been tremendously underrated for ever since this card has been released. Because, not particularly because of Braum, even though he's a fantastic card in this deck, but because of the synergy between Star Spring and Ember Maiden. Ember Maiden is a 3-drop that says round start, deal 1 to everything. One of the downsides of Ember Maiden is that she basically lives 2 turns before she kills herself, unless you buff her with something, right? Which is why her in conjunction with Star Spring is such a neat combo, because Star Spring will be healing the Ember Maiden at the end of each round, so that when the round start happens, she will be back at full health, and therefore she will never actually go down by her own pings. And this is a massive deal, because this makes Ember Maiden an absolute threat for any strategy, first of all, that tries to go wide, which is like half of the meta game right now. Like, we got not only Pirate aggro, but especially Jinx, Draven, Discard aggro, amongst other aggro archetypes like Elise Spiders, for example. Ember Maiden can just say no and just deny the board for those strategies, and with Star Spring, just remain there the entire game, as she's also damaging our units so that we can actually heal them with Starspring. The synergy is extremely powerful. I'm pretty sure the developers had this in mind when designing this card, because it is just so damn good, and it really helps you get the Starspring value going early on as you work for some big swings with the likes of Braum here. Braum is really good with Soraka because of the regeneration combined with the Challenger. Because of these two keywords, we can utilize Braum with his high health stat to attack into opposing units, tank damage, and then that regeneration that we're getting is working towards the Star Spring, while also helping us level up Soraka and also buffing up our Star Shepherd, which is the 1-drop that we're running here. Something you gotta keep in mind when you're running a deck with landmark, especially if you have a 2-drop landmark, is that you have to treat landmarks the same way you do units, because they do not utilize spell mana, they utilize unit mana, which means that if you're playing 3 copies of Star Spring, that counts as a 2-drop unit in your curve. A lot of people don't realize this and stack too much in the 2-mana slot, because this card is not technically a unit, but you have to consider it that way. And the reason why we're running very few units or just plays early on the game is because we want to make sure that we can get access to the turn 3 Avalanche to board wipe the aggressive decks running around, as this card is something that they don't expect. It's very funny because nobody really plays around it early on until I show the first one, and it just puts in the work in so many different matchups in this meta. This deck is really, really strong in this environment. The only downside is that Lee Sin is still a thing, and Lee Sin can be a rough matchup, which we have to race. I have beaten Lee Sin with this deck, but I have also lost to it because, you know, if they get the right curve, we can be a little bit too slow for that. And Ember Maiden doesn't quite do enough. And unfortunately, our Avalanches are very easily countered. But we do run a couple of Hush, which can allow us to stall out a little bit of their game plan. But fortunately, Lee Sin will be nerfed, hopefully significantly, in the next balance patch, which is only going to make this deck stronger. Because every other matchup out there is really solid. Because you have War Mother's deck with Shadow Owls, right? Or Howling Abyss with Shadow Owls as like the 2 high-end control decks right now. And those decks do not have an answer for Star Spring because they don't play Crumble, right? And we have divergent paths to search for our Star Spring, but if they're playing Howling Abyss, we can use it to remove their 7-drop landmark, which is just backbreaking, right? And because they can't remove Star Spring, as long as we stay alive, which is where Hush really comes into play to take away their overwhelm from their Trundles and Tryndamirs, we can actually shut them down with the win condition and have them not be able to really interact with it too much. I got some really cool games against that archetype, right? But we're also great against aggro, like I mentioned. We're fantastic because we're actually better than Soraka Tahm Kench against aggro, because not only are we running a full set of Guiding Touch and Broadback Protector, English, we're also playing 3 copies of Kindly Tavern Keeper, which can be a lifesaver against aggro, but also can enable us to push for our Star Spring win condition by healing something for 3. Which is really relevant, especially when we have stuff like Broadback Protector, which is damaging himself by 3 at the beginning of every turn. So 9 sources of health gain give us a great game against aggro, and the landmark win condition gives us a really good game against control decks, which makes this such a great deck for the meta if Lee Sin is not in the equation. And that's something that I really wanted to emphasize in today's deck tech here, as we have a couple of copies of Tarkas, which can allow us to ping our units as well, and it's also just a really high health 5-drop. So it's hard for Tarkas to go down, and he's such a good recipient of Astral Protection alongside the likes of Braum and Broadback Protector. More so these two, because Braum does heal himself with regeneration, right? As we have a one-off of Bastion right there, and we have a full set of Pale Cascade because this card is pretty much broken, and that is the deck list right there. I got some sick games with it today. I did really good with this in ladder. I tanked my rank yesterday tremendously, like trying out all sorts of different decks. And I went back to Diamond 4. So I played this and I got back up to Diamond 2. And in today's video, I have a portion of that climb recorded. And I'm just very excited to share, man. Really happy about this deck. And hopefully you guys enjoy it. That's all I gotta say, though. Have a solid day. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for daily Legends of Runeterra content. I do post a new deck every single day. So subscribe. It's free. Free, it's good. Self-promotion over. Have a good one. Enjoy the matches. And I'll see you tomorrow. Alright. Let's play some nice guys as we're facing pirate. I assume this is some variant of maybe pirate aggro, but with I would guess Jag Taskmaster and a bunch of 1-drops with Zonad Yurkin into Jury Rig. That's the only way this would make sense. Hello. Which makes me want to pretty much keep this entire hand, really, except one Tavern Keeper here. Avalanche could be absolutely crucial. Normally, you want to mulligan aggressively for a Star Spring, but obviously you have to also adapt to the matchup you're facing. I'm not going to play the Star Shepherd here, because I can drop her in many different instances. Okay, that's a little bit annoying, because that survives my avalanche, but better run. It was correct to assume that it is an aggressive deck. I mean, with those champions, pretty straightforward, right? Leave your backs at the door. I'm gonna play a Tavern Keeper because we need that soup to get back that health. We're going to attack, because I don't see any way you can punish this, really. Like, it's not like he's playing Targan with the potential of Pale Cascade or anything like that, so I'm not really concerned about this as a blocker, as he just resorts to a Static Shock. Very expensive. I don't really like Static Shock outside of Ezreal and maybe Heimerdinger, because it's so low tempo, especially if his deck is aimed to be aggressive, which I'm pretty sure it is. And now we play Braum. Because Braum is a natural counter to this shit. I kind of want to remove this, though, to be completely honest with you. I think it's important. This thing is doing 2 damage every time. I need to get rid of it. I'll exchange my... We have some nice health gain as well, which is fine. I don't think I need to play Soraka as of now. This Braum play is a little bit risky, because he could have a Mystic Shot, and I have no way to stop it from that. Yeah. I make shepherding look easy. I'm gonna play the Broadback Protector.
It's not exactly legal, but it is exactly awesome.
Alright, there's no way you can stop it now. For 1 mana, you can't do it. And I'm gonna go for a take heart. The Braum regen will allow me to start triggering my Star Shepherd.
A little adjustment for a lot of pow.
That is definitely a lot of pow. That is most definitely a lot of pow. I am gonna drop Soraka, though.
I must inspire where once I shepherded.
Right, that's my job. Shepherding, I mean.
Okay, I gotta live with that.
There's plenty of killing there.
So a fun Smith, like, aggressive deck here. I mean, I don't really... Like, my Braum is thick enough. Like, this is going to be dealing 3, right?
You are safe with Braum.
Love ya.
Love ya. It's a lot of damage, though. So.
I feel better when you feel better.
Let's show our friends the door. Show me your best.
By starlight,
Let's go, Osu.
live with purpose.
My kind of party. Draw!
Look how we have grown.
We get Braum level up. We hit him for a lot here with 6.
Not exactly legal, but it is exactly awesome!
Jesus Christ. Alright. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the turn to Avalanche. No doubt about it. We're gonna clear one of the fun smiths. And that misfortune, which can be pretty threatening, while getting another Mighty Poro on the board. And we shut him down. In a way, we were kind of like the complete counter.
The day is ours. Now we.
Well, I just had lunch. I'm not hungry, but you go ahead and eat, Braum. You got a lot of muscles. You need more protein than the average person, that's for sure. And yeah, I think we were pretty much the natural counter to that deck. It's really interesting that I like the first matchup that I queue into in ranked is against such an interesting archetype like that, because my experience yesterday playing in Diamond was nowhere near like that. It was just meta decks all the time, and a big diversity in regards to play patterns as well, which is generally a good thing. But the problem is matchups are just so polarized right now in this meta that it was very frustrating. So it's kind of refreshing seeing that, you know, my first game in the video is actually against like a cool deck concept like that with Misfortune and Funsmith. I really wish they would buff Funsmith. They don't need to buff her ability. They need to buff her stat line, I think. I think she's unbelievably weak for a 5-drop. I would definitely give her 2 stats in my opinion. I think her and the Kempuk Shredder have been a little bit power crept, and it would be nice to see them back in action because, you know, it would give Piltover other stuff to do instead of just like face right now, which is pretty much close to its own identity, or its only identity, English. So it would be nice to see Piltover get some buffs. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I like Piltover and Zon a lot as a region, from a lore perspective at least. But yeah, they gotta buff him in the future. Hopefully we see that. So yeah. Round 2. H. Chinaski is playing Fiora Shen. Fiora is definitely a threat, even though we have very high health units. I love seeing that Star Spring. I love seeing the Ember Maiden. I'm not so sure about the Avalanche as of right now. I'm gonna drop these 2 actually, because since I have the Ember Maiden, I feel like I need to search for Astro Protection amongst other things. I don't think there's any like landmark removal here, so we're gonna get the Star Spring on curve. Let's see if they drop Fiora.
Strength and grace, beauty in the blade.
Alright.
Fire knows its own.
We're gonna play the Ember Maiden here. I was waiting for him to attack because he could very easily have a... Well, I'm not sure what he could have had there. Prismatic Barrier? It's not that likely though.
One balance.
Alright.
Breathe it
Enforced equilibrium.
in.
This could be a little bit difficult. I can't really do anything here unless if I find a Hush, but that's just, it's not even good timing for that either. I'm gonna take the hit. And I think I'm just gonna attempt to do this again.
Destruction feeds my fire.
Because Ember Maiden will allow me to pick off Fiora in a couple of turns if he doesn't do anything. Obviously him not doing anything is rather unlikely, but this Fiora is a problem. Wow. Okay. Well, this is putting in the work. I'm not gonna play Soraka until I have... I'm gonna pass. I have no need to do anything. Like right now, I'm in a very solid position. I'm representing a kill on his Fiora. Okay. Twin Disciplines. So is he like more in on Fiora? Because you don't generally see Twin Disciplines in this deck. It's more like a mid-range deck, but with Twin Disciplines, he really wants to go in on Fiora, which is a little bit concerning, obviously.
Everyone here? Let's go.
I will drop the Broadback Protector.
These woods protect their own.
Keeper, our lands need us.
I do like that Astral Protection.
I find them unworthy.
Try me. Who goes there? Nature blesses her followers.
If I go for an Astral Protection, I also do have a Hush. My opponent has a lot of spells in hand though. I have quite a bit of protection here. But a Concerted Strike is actually a bit of a problem. This, if I Hush this, it just gets countered by any sort of like barrier, so it's just not worth it. I probably should have healed the other one. He timed it wrong too. He sequenced it wrong. No, actually no. That actually worked out for me because of
By the power of the stars. To heal and protect.
I'll leave that first part to you, Soraka.
I need to be very. This is gonna be very tricky to navigate around this Fiora, but Hush may be my way to like delay it. Attacking with Soraka here is very important because I get a nice boost on my Star Spring.
I have consulted the stars and they are bored.
This would be quick.
It's fine.
You small.
Me big. I could have played Soraka last turn, but the problem is he still had 5 mana, which means if he had another Concerted Strike, he could easily remove her, so I needed to try to keep her safe. Tarkas here can allow me an attack that will deny barrier.
Brave or stupid?
And will give me some healing too here. Which is very important because it'll give me a card draw with Soraka.
We swim within the flows of magic.
Live with purpose.
Alright, this Avalanche could be absolutely key, even though you could very easily have a deny.
My strength is yours.
Well, Avalanche could have been key.
The Star Child. I'll clear a path for you.
Good to see you too, Vin.
Gotta play your boy Vin here, because we do have to stay alive. We have to try to navigate this as best as I can. The only thing in our on our favor is that he has only that amount of mana. So I want to be utilizing Pale Cascade here, as we have Hush to counter a potential riposte. And if we see the Hush, then we can follow it up with... I don't know if we should go for an Avalanche until next turn after the buffs happen. We'll see. Depends on how the trades happen. I'm also limited in my mana, but I can utilize Kindly Tavern Keeper to keep my unit alive here. The nerf to Genevieve really coming into play here.
Counter and strike.
Nope. Nope. Get out of here. And this will allow me to survive any attack, because he's quite simply out of mana.
I sense an imbalance.
En garde.
He's going for the Fiora win con.
Our wills align.
Just you, huh?
The Kinku.
I have no equal.
Going up to 12.
I'll protect you.
Ben dies, but my health is irrelevant. My health... Okay, this Hush is a godsend. This Hush is an absolute godsend. If I attack with Tarkaz now,
Stars fall.
I will heal 4, which puts me up to 16. But I would very much like to Avalanche here.
My starlight. Live with purpose. Take heart.
I have no time for fools.
Strike, we will reform.
Your move.
This Pill Cascade will eliminate Fiora. Yes! 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 That's huge. That's huge.
Gift from the river folk. Waters are still.
That's huge. That is absolutely massive.
Water changes but never breaks.
We can Avalanche now. But we gotta do things right here. If I Avalanche here, and then I kindly Tavern Keeper, I go up to 19, 20. Is there any way I can do this? I don't think I can get lethal here anyway, unless I'm missing something. Avalanche is the key thing to do here. But if I Avalanche first, I just gotta survive next turn. It's as simple as that. Okay, he shut down. I took a little bit too long. But once we killed Fiora there, that was pretty much our game. I was just really making sure that I didn't miss lethal there. On a video, you know. A little bit of extra pressure to not mess up. But no, I was at 16 with Star Spring, which means that if I went for an... I had 9 mana, so if I go for an Avalanche and a Tavern Keeper, that's basically... I could have gone for Tavern Keeper heal 3. Then I go for the Avalanche, I deal 2 and 2, and I heal 2 there, so I heal 5. So I was always like 1 off lethal, basically. That's what I was going through my mind. Like if I play a Tavern Keeper, heal up my Tarkaz, and then I go for the Avalanche after that, it's not enough to win that turn. But because my opponent lost the Fiora in that exchange, thanks to Tarkaz's ability, by the way, we had enough time to actually go for the lethal next turn anyway, so we basically were out of the loop there. That seemed to be more of an all-in Fiora there, and my opponent just kind of like really maybe he forgot about Tarkaz's ability, because he really gave me Fiora super easily, right, when it was his only way of winning there. But that was a pretty sick game. Let's go for that one. All right, some good old discard aggro. And I mean, I have no reason to mulligan anything. I have the Star Spring in my opening hand. I have Ember Maiden to deal with their board. And I have Broadback Protector, which I'm going to keep both of because these are what are going to be keeping me alive here. Ember Maiden is going to be absolutely crucial. I got all the healing, baby. All the healing. Yeah, these will be dealt with. These Poros will be dealt with. I just need to make sure that my Ember Maiden doesn't go down immediately. Oh, double Ember Maiden? Beautiful. If one goes down, I'll bring in the other. This is really... I mean, if he doesn't do anything, I just avalanche him. Like, if he actually develops on this board, I will punish the hell out of him. He needs to open attack here. Yeah, this deck is just really solid against aggro. Like, I'm really, like, happy with how I designed it. It's just, you know, it seems a bit overboard with the healing, but Tavern Keeper is just so flexible in this deck. Tavern Keeper is just amazing in this build. And Ember Maiden with Star Spring is just such neat synergy. Like, this is like one of the followers. Oh my god. You need more than one bot for that shit. Oh my god, the carnage! I'm gonna pass.
Let the flames
And now I'm gonna play Ember Maiden. Bamboozled. Great day for a reckoning. God, I love how the ground shakes with that.
Take a real close look at the action.
Yeah, bruh. I don't have to do anything. I actually do not have to do anything. Because I'm going to wipe out your board. And now I will play the Broadback Protector.
Our mountain groves are full of dangers, but I know them all.
I could have open attack, to be fair. Talk about a beatdown. Oh my god. Yo, this deck is putting in the work. Oh my lord. Alright. Round 4. Okay, let's check out the Pirate aggro matchup. Let's keep the Avalanche. Divergent Pats may be very important. Though I am going to mulligan that as well. I'm going to search for... I don't want to... Like, Divergent Pats is nice to search for Star Spring, but this is like a matchup in which I really don't want to give up too much momentum, right? So I want to make sure that I find my curve. And if it's not Star Springs, like, most importantly, Ember Maiden, right? Like, I can play Ember Maiden to start wiping his board. Ember Maiden alongside Avalanche. Braum can really help in that regard. And then we can resort to our healing as well. On paper, this should be a good matchup. Again, the way the deck is designed, I should be able to take on Burn. But Pirate aggro is one of those decks, man, that just, like... I don't know what it is about it, man, but it just... like, it can kill anything. Like, even if your entire deck is comprised of healing, this deck just can somehow find a way to kill you. Because it is that efficient. But I mean... I have an Avalanche here that's just coming your way. And it's gonna... Oh my god, dude. What is it? What is it with people not respecting the Avalanche, man? Just no respect. No respect whatsoever. We're still taking quite a bit of damage though, don't get me wrong. Like, we're still down to 14, but we do have a lot of healing in this deck. I'm concerned about some sort of removal here. Like Death's Hand or something. That would be very annoying.
Fire knows its own.
Death's Hand is what I'm worried about. But Death's Hand in this deck is just, it just kind of feels like most variants don't run this. This Ember Maiden allows me to set up a body that can potentially block next turn and also clear up this Ballista. It's just the play to go for. It's just my best play without a doubt. Even Braum is pretty underwhelming. Like, getting rid of this without just having to do anything else is really key. But I guess my opponent is... I mean, if he has removal, he should 100% go for it here. Like, if he has a Death's Hand, there's no way you don't go for it. Okay.
Snow swallows their tears.
I'm gonna draw a landmark here.
Breathe it in. Looking for trouble?
It found you.
the tipsy hour.
Time for violence. Bang.
Let's talk about your dad.
Hell of a day.
I would like to see my more healing, like my broad back protector. Broad back protector would be pretty amazing here. I'm gonna pass.
My body, my rules. Let us get going. First we should be friends. It is easy, see? You wanted wrath.
There's the astral protection.
Dead men tell my tale.
The possibilities are infinite.
This world has such great potential.
Coming in hot!
I guess I should have had to mulligan a little bit more aggressive. I don't think I should have mulliganed aggressively, but I needed broad back protector here. Ah man, it feels silly losing to this deck, but that's just how it is.
Time to enjoy the night sky.
We could go for an avalanche here, but I think our objective has to be, it's pretty clear here at this point. I mean, we're gonna lose the Ember Maiden, but I think that's ultimately fine at this stage of the game. We can use her as a blocker here. If he does go for that, I could go for this, right? But this just hurts me so much. I gotta just do this. Wow, I'm surprised he doesn't. Okay, he could have a make it rain.
Help is underway.
Go no further.
I don't know why I didn't do that before.
Fighting's a blood. Bilgewater is mine and mine alone.
I don't know why I did not do that before. I can't avalanche in that, unfortunately. So I probably should have blocked with this, because now I will lose to another Jack the Winner with that. Unless I find some sort of healing.
Think strong.
What if I go for Astro Protection here? Let's just go with this. I can't.
Live with purpose.
Breathe it in.
Explosives.
Actually, never mind. I just realized.
You leave me no choice.
They all scream.
My shield is hot. This is fun, yes?
Take heart. Live with purpose.
Look how we have grown.
I wish I had a guiding touch here.
Fortune favors the bold.
Okay. Can we maybe? He's gonna gain like what? 4 health. So we need a little bit more healing here. We need to draw into something. I probably should have. Maybe I should have healed you. So have. We have avalanche. We have avalanche, which is the important thing here.
Cover me, Crackshot.
You got it, Captain.
I needed the guiding touch. We drew through a good portion of our deck, and we only drew one Tavern Keeper. Like Tavern Keeper, guiding touch, any of those would have done us the favor. That's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. I don't feel like I deserve to play that to lose that one. I don't feel like I should have deserved to lose that one. I feel like I definitely played better than my opponent in that one, which makes it a little bit frustrating. Like, we have triple Broadback Protector, which we could have drawn earlier. We have triple Guiding Touch and triple Tavern Keeper. And in that matchup, we only drew one source of, like, Nexus Healing. You know, it's a card game sometimes, but it's really, it's upsetting. It's upsetting when that happens. You know, because it's not like our deck wasn't equipped for that, right? But, you know, that's what I was talking about. Sometimes Pirate Aggro just gets the win, no matter what, man. No matter what the matchup is, no matter, like, it just... I don't like burn. I don't like burn, and I don't like losing like that to burn, but it's part of the game, you know. You have to accept it, right? But you do have a right to get frustrated every now and then, because that I feel like I should have, whatever. I shouldn't have because I lost, right? But god damn it, I did everything right, pretty much. Oh well, next round. All right, so Lee Sin. Avalanche easily gets countered, even though it can be pretty useful. I do like the Astral Protection. I do like Braum alongside Pale Cascade, so I'm gonna keep this. Even though we obviously want Star Spring, I like Braum with Pale Cascade a lot. And I like Astral Protection, but maybe I should have mulliganed away Astral Protection. Maybe I should be a little bit more...
Osu can sniff out any star anywhere.
May as well set up the Shepherd now. But I really... I mean, or I could just top deck it. Never mind. All part of the plan. I could Pale Cascade here to trade with this, and I think I very well may. Even though he could have his own Pale Cascade. Maybe I do need to wait because of that. I'm gonna wait. I'm actually gonna wait. I'm gonna be... Yeah.
Mystical levitation requires concentration.
Because I need that mana for when I play Braum now, and I can use Pale Cascade now.
Take heart.
Take heart. So if I Pale Cascade here, only like double Pale Cascade punishes me, right? Being able to remove this is really important.
First we fight. Left for a snack.
Only double Pale Cascade, correct?
Good luck. Have fun.
That's a very specific... If he does have it, he has it anyways, because I want to attack with Braum here regardless. But getting rid of the Mountain Goat is really important.
We're all family here.
Alright, Braum putting in the work. We may see an open attack here. I mean, it would make sense. Okay, so Pale Cascade. Again, we're in the same situation now in which he needs double Pale Cascade to do this. I'm gonna block with you here to prevent a little bit of damage. I'm gonna block with you here as well.
Help is on the way.
This allows me to level up. She does have the Hush, which is certainly annoying. Oh well. I need to keep the spell mana. This Star Spring isn't really going to be doing much.
Look after our own.
big.
Master yourself. Master your enemy.
An attack with Tarkaz and hurt. As Tarkaz will prevent the barrier from coming into play as we get a huge hit off on him. So maybe we found ourselves in alternate win condition here.
We're all family here.
The Star Spring win condition is going a little bit slowly though.
Stars. Speak, I say.
5 cards in hand. I'm not too worried about my health here. I have the threats of blocks. He could go for multiple gems though, which is definitely an issue. I think instead of prioritizing that, I may just want to focus on my health gain here. I'm gonna pass. I'm definitely gonna pass.
Our enemies cannot hide. Conflict is all in the mind.
You gotta be kidding me, dude.
As the dragon wills. Go! Now prepare yourself.
Well, that's absolutely ridiculous. Well, we got Lee.
We look after our own.
All right.
My skill is unrivaled.
OTK'd, man. What are you gonna do? That hush was really brutal though. Like that hush really sends back. Like I'm not as tilted by this loss because you know that champion is so clearly like unbelievably broken, right? And sometimes you're just gonna get blown out by that. Like I'm used to that at this point. Like that's happened so often that I am a little bit upset. Like the more I think about it though, the loss against Pirate Aggro was really upsetting because my opponent actually played really bad. Like no offense, but like I just remember the fact that he didn't go for the Jack the winner play so to level up Gangplank so he would get the effect that turn, and then playing into Avalanche like that the turn prior. It just makes me think that Pirate Aggro needs to be nerfed as well, because I feel like if the deck draws right, it kind of like brings you back to good old, because I have a lot of healing in this deck too, which is kind of crazy, right? Like I played a Tavern Keeper defensively. Yeah, I'm just thinking about the next balance patch, because obviously like Lee Sin, it's whatever, you know, like I'm ready to just... Sometimes they don't draw perfectly right, and you can have an interesting game, but if they have everything, like they can just completely obliterate you. But Pirate Aggro also feels like it is a little bit overtuned for sure. Not nearly as much, but definitely there. But yeah, let's try to redeem ourselves here. All right, Chisu, or Chichu as I like to call him, because I don't know how to pronounce his name. He's playing some ramp. How do we handle this? I mean, they don't have removal. Well, they could have removal for landmarks, but I doubt that he's playing it. We have Divergent Paths, which is really important. In this matchup, we gotta change things up a little bit. We're not mulligan away everything except for the Divergent Paths, because we really want the Star Spring naturally. And we're also happy to see the Ember Maiden, because the Ember Maiden can start getting our strategy rolling. We're gonna pass here because we're gonna give ourselves one more chance to draw into Star Spring. If not, we will be using the Pats. Show me Trundle. That also works.
Let the flames take you. They all scream. Breathe it in.
The troll rebels are going to war! Is it the boosters?
Who knows? I'm gonna play Braum here because if he does have something like an avalanche, then he's going to lose his Face of the Old Ones anyways. Unless he goes for a Pale Cascade, that also works.
This is fun, yes?
I'm gonna play Take Cart on Braum, and I'm gonna attack with these two. Applying a little bit of pressure while also working for my Star Spring. You know, we're off to a bit of a slow start. Our opponent is ramping really efficiently. That health gain is irrelevant because we aim to win with Star Spring here. Do I want the Astro I don't think I need the Astro Protection here at all. I have another Ember Maiden, so it's whatever. He can't Avalanche here.
Fire knows its own.
Welcome to the tipsy hour.
It is easy, see?
Breathe it
We're gonna see the Ice Pillar here.
You're in my kingdom now.
I'm gonna pass here because if he doesn't do anything, then he's just like slowly but surely losing to this. Like he needs to be a little bit proactive here, and I have double Astro Protection in case my opponent has something like a Hush, you know, which I don't think he does have. Yeah, okay. Now that he does do this, I am gonna play you.
Deadly paths, just another day in Targon.
What will you have?
A mug of your warmest milk, my friend.
I'm gonna play the Tavern Keeper here, as the Tavern Keeper will allow me.
This'll take the chill off.
To work for this win condition. Now we have 4 heals here, which are gonna propel us to 16. Yeah, I'm just gonna pass here. Now my entire board is like we're basically very close to just winning here. Like if we survive this turn, we should lock him down. We just have to like not get OTK'd, right? Like our opponent could go for like an Ice Quake or something. The moment he drops Aurelion Sol, it's over.
How about another round?
This is gonna be fun.
I'm not worried about like an atrocity or anything. I just need to block this. Like what direct damage could they possibly have here?
I've carved meat bigger than you.
Left for a snack?
Who's gonna close up?
The moment he plays Aurelion Sol,
I and you and me, we'll rule the world. And I thought humans were stupid.
is the moment we do this.
Raboni,
Good times, good friends. What could be better?
And we set up the win. Got him! Nice! GG, baby. Alright. That was a pretty sick game. So, I'm overall, like, this deck has been doing really well. We got a couple of losses in the video, right? But, like, just so you guys understand, like, I can show you guys the, like, the win rate here. Like, I started testing out this deck, like, in normal, as you guys can see here, and it started doing really well. I'm like, you know what? This deck is putting in the work. It was like 7-2 in normal, and then I hopped onto rank, and you know, we went 4-2. I could have done better, to be fair. I mean, this matchup felt like we're just gonna get blown back regardless. Like, I feel like this deck is gonna get much better when Lee Sin gets nerfed, because it does feel like it's gonna be a tough matchup, no matter how you look at it. And Pirate Aggro is actually, like, it should be a good matchup. Like, we drew, like, that game was frustrating, honestly. Like, I think I've repeated myself at this point. I think those of you who watch understand why I'm frustrated with that game. You know, card games are card games, but there's this thing about, like, losing. People think that I hate losing to Lee Sin, but actually the deck that I hate losing to the most is Pirate Aggro, because it just sneaks in. Like, I've seen, like, awful piloting behind that deck, like awful piloting, and people still win after it. And it really frustrates me when a deck is poorly played and people are still, like, you know, rewarded with it. That leads me to believe that there has to be something done about it. I think the combination of Bilgewater and Noxus is also a little bit problematic right now. I think it's a little bit too efficient, and I think Pirate Aggro is a good example of that. I think a great way to start tackling that deck is by nerfing the Jack Butcher, and then we can see if there's anything else needed to happen, right? Because it's the general consensus amongst, like, all high-level players that Pirate Aggro is a little bit too much right now. But really like this deck, though. Like, I think this deck has a really strong spot in the meta, and is ultimately going to become better when Lee Sin gets, you know, the axe, which hopefully will be a relevant nerf incoming. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. A bit of a long session today. It's recorded for an hour. Hopefully the magic of editing can lower that a little bit. But yeah, let me know if you like the deck. Leave a like and all that stuff. It supports the channel. And that's all I'm going to say. Have a whole day. Thank you for watching. And I'll see you tomorrow.